Shalom. All praise to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation, brothers, overlook pushing this word and truth and sincerity. All right, this video here is Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, the Great Awakening. All right. This is a very pivotal chapter here into understanding what's going on today. And when I say what's going on today, I mean about our people, Israel, or Yasha'Allah, waking up, okay, coming back to themselves, turning back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And so this is a very important chapter to go to understanding that. So, like I said, I'm going to just go through it and we'll see. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1 says, "The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which is full of bones." Okay, so it says that he was carried in the midst of the valley that is full of bones. Okay, and the valley is going into a low place. When you think of a valley, it's a very low lying area, and that's a representation of here in America, Babylon the Great, because this is a very low vibrational place. Everything is low here. All right, so I'm gonna get Psalms chapter 23 and 4. It says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Okay, their rod and their staff is this truth, it's these scriptures, that come from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But walking through that valley of the shadow of death, we literally in the valley of the shadow of death. Like I said, this is a low-lying area. This is a low vibrational place that's literally surrounded by death, because there is no lifestyle here. There's no culture here. Everything here is a death style. Okay, this is the valley of the shadow of death. Okay. So when you get back to Ezekiel 37, it says that in the midst of the valley was full of bones. All right. So now we got that valley, and we going into the bones. All right. Verse 2 says, "And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry." All right. So those bones represent us, Israelites, as a people. Okay. And there were very many of them. Okay. Because over here in America, the bulk of the Israelites are over here in America, Babylon the Great. Okay. This is where that great deliverance will take place. That second Exodus. All right. That one that will surpass that even what Moses did, when the Lord worked through Moses to part in the Red Sea, is going to be even greater than that. It's going to mainly take place over here, okay, in this valley, okay, in this low area, this low vibrational place, okay. And all right, and it says that the bones were very dry. And when you think about bones, when not even just bones, when something that needs to be moisturized and it dries out, it becomes very brittle and can easily break. Okay, so those bones that were very dry were us. Okay, we were very dry, we were very brittle, we had no direction, we were easily broken. We were not easily broken, we were broken. Okay, we were broken down, downtrodden, low, all right. Verse 3 says, "And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord power, O Yahweh, thou knowest." Okay. Again, he said unto me, "Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, thus saith Yahweh, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live." All right. So now He's promising that the breath is going to enter into these bones, and the bones can live again. So let's get this in Genesis, the second chapter, because this is that same breath. All right, this is Genesis 2:7. It says, and the Lord God, or in the Most High, formed man out of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay. So when it says he was formed out of the dust of the ground, it doesn't mean that man was created at that point. Okay, because man had already existed. At this particular thing, that dust, he took the man out of the confused, he took this Adam out of the confused state in which he was in. Okay, because when you don't have the word of the Lord, when you have no understanding, you're in confusion. You have no direction. All right, so he took him out of the confused state that he was in, breathed the breath of life into his nostrils, and he became a living soul. He gave him order. He gave him the law, statutes, and commandments. He gave him what would be pleasing unto the Lord. Okay, that's what's him coming out, getting that breath of life and coming out of confusion, or coming out of that dust. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get this in Wisdom of Solomon. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the pure power, Salakia. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. Okay, so wisdom is that breath of, is that pure power of the Most High. Okay, it's that power and that pure influence. So this is that breath that was going to be breathed into those dry bones. Okay, because they needed that wisdom to be made alive again, to come out of that confused state that they were once in. Okay. And that's why he says that in verse 5, thus saith the Lord power, thus saith the Most High, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Okay, that's how we're going to be made alive, through this wisdom, through the law, statutes, and commandments, through understanding of what's pleasing unto our power. Okay, having a lifestyle rather than a death style. Okay, that's what makes us alive. Because think about it. Everyone around us that does not have this truth, that does not know Yahweh Shai, they're dead. They're living a death style. They're not living. They are not alive. All right. We're going to verse 6. It says, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Okay, so now the skin is, now the tendons and the muscles and the skeleton and the skins and all these things are coming up on them. So, and then that breath is coming, that wisdom, that knowledge and understanding is coming upon them to make them alive. Okay, and that's what's happening with us. You know, we're in that great awakening. Our bones, we were these dry bones, and in this valley. And we're being awakened in a great number. Okay, verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded. You see that? As I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a great shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Okay. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Okay, so the bone, the bones were coming together, the sinews coming together, the muscles, the tendons, and the skin and everything, but they became whole, but they had no breath. They had no direction. They were confused. They had no understanding. Okay. Verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, thus saith the Most High, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. And this is the importance of the prophecy. Okay. He said, prophesy unto the wind. This is why whether the people hear or forbear, you got to prophesy. You got to get the word out. Okay. Whether you got one person listening, whether you got 1,000 listeners, whether you got 10,000 listeners, whether you have no listeners, even on your videos, you got 1 view, 10 views, 1,000 views, 10,000 views, 1,000,000 views, or 0 views. The word needs to go out. If you got 0 views, 0 people listening to you, 0 people watching you, prophesy unto the wind. I guarantee you that word gonna get out, because no matter what, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to make it to where who he wants to wake up, or who he has in his plan, or who is of the elect, will hear the word, will turn back to him, will repent, and come back to the Lord. Okay. That's how it works. So that's why all you got to do is simply do as you're instructed. Like what he said earlier, in verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded. See that? That's why it's important. Okay. Verse 10. It says, so I prophesied as he commanded me. There it goes again. And the breath, what happened? The breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Okay. So the prophecy went out, the bones came together and everything, and they lived. Okay. That breath of life was breathed into, that came into them. Okay. This word they were preaching, the truth, the law, statutes, and commandments, the ways of the Lord that's pleasing unto him. This is that breath of life that's being prophesied into the world, or into this valley. Okay. Upon these dry bones. All right. And it says they stood up on their feet, an exceeding great army. So in a great number, you think about an army, you think about multiple, a lot of armed people, a lot of armed, ranks and military forces, and it's a lot of bodies. Okay. So as a matter of fact, let's get that in Revelation. Now that I think about it. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. It's that breath of life. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And it's funny, it says great fear fell upon them which saw them, because if this were not the truth, if this were just some BS, it wouldn't be a problem. Why is this such a problem that you gotta flag videos, take videos down, shadow ban, okay? Get angry at people, Why is this such a problem? If we just a bunch of ragtag niggas in dresses, just standing on the corner yelling at the white man, saying white man is the devil, then that's all we teach. That's all we're saying. If there was that a problem and it wasn't true, then why you don't want it? Or why you want to kick us off the street? Why you want to kick us off the internet? Why? Because it is a problem. Because great fear is falling upon them. Because if we wake up and we call on our power, he will hear us. If we call on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he will hear us and come and get us, come save us from our enemies. So that will be the downfall of the end of their kingdom and their rulership. It's going to happen anyway, but they figure, hey, if we can keep them asleep and not knowing who they are, then they can live a little longer in decadence and in their wickedness. But it ain't going to work like that, player. All right. Verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. And that's true. We were very dry. We had no hope. We were literally lost, wandering around aimlessly. Okay. Let's see. This is Isaiah chapter 49, verse 14. But Zion said, the Lord hath forsaken me, and my Lord hath forgotten me. That's why we were very dry. Okay? Because the Lord forsook us because we forsook him first. So we had no hope. Okay, we were lost. You know, without Yahweh Shem Shah, we're totally lost. We literally have no power because he is our power. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. And those are the idols. All right. But like I said, this is how we were lost, and we were very dry, and we had no hope. All right. Verse 12. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power Yahweh, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. All right. So the grave is designed for something that is dead. Okay. So let's get that in Proverbs 21 and 16. All right. It's Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And he says he's going to open up our graves and bring us out of there. So by him opening up the graves and bringing us out of the graves, we are returning from a dead state or a confused state into life. Okay, this is why I continue to say this is a death style over here. It's not a lifestyle. Okay, lifestyle breeds life. Okay, death style breeds corruption, wickedness. All right. So because we began to go toward the way of understanding and not wander out of way of it. Okay, we came out of the congregation of the dead, thus being awakened in a great number. Okay. Let's see. Let's get verse 14. And it says, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get back that one up. So this is us. He's really talking about saving us. Okay. Yep. It says this Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 26. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit. Let's go back here real quick. Ezekiel 37 and 14. And I shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Okay. See, he says he's going to put his spirit in us. And he just said he's going to give us a new heart and a new spirit. Okay. A new heart, Ezekiel 36:26. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and will give you an heart of flesh. Okay, something that can easily be penetrated versus a stone. Okay, the word will bounce off the stone. All right. Verse 27, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Okay. I will also save you from all your uncleanliness, and will call for the corn, and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. Okay. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. All right. This is us being saved from sin, iniquity, our enemies, and this flesh. All right. So we won't have to worry about going off anymore. We don't have to worry about sin anymore. We don't have to worry about the heathen nations making war against us, overtaking us, taking us down, all those different things. All right. We'll actually be able to live safely in peace in our own land. Okay. Back in Ezekiel 37, verse 15, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, for all the house of Israel and his companions. Okay, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And this is where we get the 12 tribe sign from. Okay, we taking all the tribes of the house of Judah and the house of Israel, both the kingdoms of both the houses, and putting them together. Okay, because it's a representation of us becoming one once again, one nation. Okay, no more two nations, but one. All right. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen. Now we've been scattered across the four corners of the earth, so we've been scattered into the lands of the heathen, okay, the other heathen nations, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Okay, we'll finally have the land of Israel to ourselves, and won't nobody come and try to take it from us. Nobody else will inhabit it. It will be ours, okay, forever. And matter of fact, the world will be for us, not the oikomene. Okay. Verse 22, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. When did that split happen? When did that divide happen? After King Solomon, okay? Jeroboam and Rehoboam, okay? That's where that split came upon them. All right. After King Solomon went off, our kingdom, the kingdom of Israel, the house of Israel was split into two. The house of Israel, the house of Israel, the northern kingdom, and the house of Judah, the southern kingdom. All right. Matter of fact, let's get this here. Now I'm thinking about this scripture here. This is Isaiah chapter 11. Yep, verse 12. It says, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, we just read that, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart. So Ephraim ain't gonna envy the Judah anymore. And the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not vex Judah, Salakia. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Okay, that brotherhood, okay, will no longer be severed between us. We'll no longer be at war with each other, fighting each other, hating each other. Okay, that bond that we have will actually finally be mended. Okay, so that we can finally be one nation once again. Okay. Back in 37, verse 20, Ezekiel 37:23. It says, neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd, and they shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. So it says that David shall be king over them, all right, and they shall have one shepherd. So once again, there will be rank. You have the Most High Power Yahweh will be number 1, Yahweh Shai number 2, King David number 3, and on down, to how he sets up the governing body, that 144,000. All right. Verse 25, and they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. See that? Let me grab this here. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of the grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And actually, when you go back to the curses, we would plow, but we wouldn't be able to reap. Okay. We would sow, but we wouldn't be able to reap. We would plant, but we wouldn't be able to eat of what we planted. Okay. Basically, we would build and we wouldn't be able to live in it. Those are part of the curses. They're saying that we will. All right. Verse 15, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith the Lord, saith Yahweh thy power. All right. So once we get established, that's it. That's why I said it's going to be peace. Ain't no other nation going to overtake us. Ain't nobody going to come and push us out. None of that. All right. Because they ain't going to be able to. Because we're going to finally enter into that promise. All right. Verse 26, back in Ezekiel 37. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. My tabernacle also shall be with them, yea, I will be their power, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, Yahweh, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forever. All right. That's that covenant. That promise to Israel. No other nation can be a part of that. All right. So let's get the new covenant for the proof. And we'll end off on the new covenant there. This is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Stop right there. You see that? The new covenant is with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. So anybody coming up to you saying that, hey, we're living in the new covenant right now, they lying to you, because the new covenant is made with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That's who the new covenant is going to be for anyway. Okay, it ain't for every nation. It ain't for everybody. All right, verse 2. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. So stop there. Check it out. It says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. So that means that the new covenant has to be made with the people, with the same people that had the old covenant. See that? All right, verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. So it's stated again. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Verse 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. So we're not going to have to be like telling our people, oh, you going off, we're not going to be teaching them the law, anything like that, what's required of, because it'll be written in our inward parts. Okay, it's going to be written in our heart, in our minds, our la'abs. Okay, it's going to be programmed to not go off. Simple as that. We're rehearsing the righteous acts right now, and he's gonna in our kingdom, he's gonna make it easier for us to where, hey, your reward, I'm gonna make it to where you're going to live. You're gonna have that lifestyle. You're not gonna have that death style. You're not going to fight with the flesh and the spirit. You're not gonna have to worry about that anymore. You're going to be able to enjoy the earth. You're going to be able to live in peace, eat real food, breathe fresh air, drink fresh water. Okay, this is what we have to look forward to. But it all starts with that great awakening. It all starts with these dry bones waking up and getting their breath of life into them. Okay, so call all Yahweh Shem Al Shah. Hope you're edified on that chapter. So shalom.